We are talking about Project Goal. It is greater opportunity for athletes to learn. Nonprofit within the community. Hey, Darius, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So good to see you.
Good to see you.
So let's talk a little bit about your organization. You're helping children, teens, a little bit of both, within the community. And it has to do with soccer, but it has to do with a lot more. So tell me a little bit about your mission and your nonprofit.
So Project Goal was started in 2004, and we're working with kids from Central Falls, Pawtucket, and Providence, mostly middle school age. Our focus is education. We're trying to get these kids to graduate from high school, get into college. We do help some kids get into private schools locally as well. But we use soccer as the vehicle and the carrot, basically, to keep them focused and interested.
And I love that. I mean, I played soccer for a long time, since I was 4. So I was going to say, do you think soccer is a really powerful tool, and how come?
Yeah, I mean, it's known as the world sport, and it certainly has influence over a lot of different cultures and different countries. And we've got a very diverse mix of kids, particularly from Central Falls, Providence, Pawtucket. We have Africans, we have Latinos, we have Asians, and soccer seems to be a thing that they can all come together about. And because they can do that on the field, they help each other out in the classroom. So there may be other conflicts culturally, but when they're out on the field together, they help each other, and that translates to all of them kind of being more successful also in school.
That's really neat. And you don't need, there's no, soccer is kind of a universal language. You don't have to speak the same language, you don't have to go to the same school.
Right.
You just can go out there and you can kind of play.
Correct.
But the whole focus isn't just on the field.
No. I mean, we have certified teachers that we hire, work with the kids for an hour and a half, twice a week during the week, work on their schoolwork, mentoring, and then they get to play another hour and a half of soccer after that. During the wintertime and fall, we're in Central Falls in the middle school. And then we move over to the Moses Brown School in the spring. They let us use their classrooms and outdoor fields there. So it's a full school year program, and then we run a two-week summer program as well, just to make sure that these kids are doing something positive in the after-school hours.
So how did this all come about? You started in 2004. How did you think of this idea?
Well, when I first moved to Providence, I was running the minor league soccer team here for the Revolution, called the Rhode Island Stingrays, and I did that for 5 years, and then I worked for the Crafts for a couple of years with the Revolution and the Patriots, and I was running a lot of soccer camps to generate revenue. I was running a couple of premier or elite clubs for kids, and one of the things that I recognized, a lot of kids could not afford to be a part of that. The fees are really high. And then getting to know people within the community, they asked myself and one of the other co-founders, who's from Central Falls, about how we could help them with our soccer background to keep these kids focused on school. They told us about some of the barriers for kids to get involved with activities. The big one being fees. Yeah. The other one was transportation. So we wanted to solve those two big issues for kids, and just to get them to focus on school, so they wouldn't have to worry about money. They wouldn't have to worry about how did they get there. So we eliminated that. It took us 2 years to raise enough money to make it a 100% free program, but we provide busing for the kids and all the things that they get within the program, whether it's the coaching, it's the tutoring. If they need soccer equipment, they need school supplies, we supply it all to them. They just focus on school.
That's incredible. Because you think about it, I mean, growing up, playing soccer, going to school, just paying for the fees. You think about cleats are what, $1.25. You think about the shin guards.
You want a good pair, yeah.
Yeah, if you think about, or you can get them for less, but you think about uniforms, you think about just paying for the fees to go play, and the emotional and physical stress that can cause a child has to be so overwhelming when that's what they care about, and then how that can take a toll on their school. And then you don't even think about transportation, getting to practice or getting to school or getting to these. So tell me about some of the kids that you serve. What progress have you seen in these kids?
Well, we've had a really good success rate. We've had 96% of the kids that have been in our program over 13, 14 years have graduated from high school.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and from that group, 90% of them were the first in their family to ever go to college.
Wow.
So when we started in Central Falls, the graduation rate was just around 50%. And so that's improved a lot. I don't think it's due to us, but certainly a lot of the kids that we were dealing with back then are now our first alum. and they're coming back and they're giving back to the program, and they donate and they give their time. So it's been a nice cycle. I certainly feel my age when I see some of these kids now in their mid-20s. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been very rewarding. When I started the program, I had my first child, and I was thinking that how awful it would be if I couldn't afford for my child to participate in something that they really wanted to. So I think we've helped some kids. We've certainly seen a big success rate. We've had a lot of kids go to the local private schools as well, like Moses Brown, Wheeler, Rocky Hill, Providence Country Day, LaSalle. And those kids are doing really well as well. And they're still around. So it's nice to see those kids come back.
So how does that part work where you get them into the private schools?
So we help them kind of navigate the application process.
Mm-hmm.
We came up with a common application for our Project Goal students. Then we run sessions for financial assistance for the parents to show them how they fill out those applications. We'll go visit with the schools as well and talk to them about the kids who are applying for the year. They come over to the program and interview kids, and then the kids have to go through the process of visiting the schools, spending a day there, and our kids have done really well there, so now those schools want more of the Project Goal kids.
Yeah. And do you think this is a population of children, of students who might not have benefited if Project Goal hadn't come around?
I don't know. I mean, we created it to kind of have some more opportunities for kids that may have not existed if we weren't there. Mm-hmm. I can only take from one of the co-founders who grew up in Central Falls, and he constantly says that if he had had this, he probably would have thought a little bit differently about his schooling and what it could have meant. So, a lot of the kids want to be athletes, and we just tell them that, if you can combine your, good academics, being a good student, and if you're, even an average athlete on top of that, you can open a lot of doors for yourself.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the after school mentoring, tutoring program like there? So when these kids get out of school for the day, they come to you. What's mm-hmm. that part of the program like?
So they're divided up into classrooms twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, for an hour and a half. We give them a snack just to make sure that they've eaten something.
Because sometimes they haven't eaten.
They haven't eaten, yeah. So that's a big problem. So we make sure that they're fed, and then they're getting tutoring in a classroom, no more than 10 to 12 kids with a teacher. We do get a lot of volunteers from the local colleges like Brown and PC. A lot of them are student athletes.
Oh, that's
that want to help out the kids. And it's boys and girls, so we service both. And then after they're done with the hour and a half of classroom work, then they are able to play soccer. We do have a portion of the kids that if they're not allowed to play, they do go back up into the classroom with the teacher, and they work on not necessarily more homework, but kind of more academic types of games. But it's a bit of a punishment, basically, that if they've not done their work, they haven't brought work, behavior, attendance. So we really try to make them accountable and responsible for themselves, at that middle school age.
So they're rewarded by playing soccer. It's
Correct.
Not just you sign up for this and you get to go play. You're rewarded through the game of soccer.
We have a pretty strict rules. I mean, once we give them something, the soccer supplies, they each get a Project Goal t-shirt, which I left a couple for you guys today.
Oh, thanks. Cool.
But if they don't show up with it once they're given it, then they're not allowed to play.
Yeah.
And then if they're missing from the program a day and they haven't called us in advance or texted or sent an email, then the next time they show up, they're not allowed to play. And we tell them that it's their responsibility. It's not the parents or their sister or their cousin to give us a call. It's them. So we try to put a lot of responsibility on the kids so that they learn.
And do you think that's part of why you've succeeded so far?
I would like to see it helps shape those kids a little bit better, to be better, kids or students overall. But yeah, teaching them responsibility at an early age, I think it's really important.
And so you've been around since 2004, and I like the fact that you've said they have to earn that time on the playing field. What are some of your fundraising missions? How do you support yourself? Because it is a nonprofit. Do you have any coming up?
Yeah, so most of the revenue that we get for the program comes from grants and donations. So we usually run 2 large fundraisers. So we have one coming up at the end of March, which are we call it our Gold Cup cocktail fundraiser. We have a silent auction. We have raffles. It's going to be at Rhode Island Country Club this year on March 31st. And we have a former U.S. national team player, Jimmy Comrade, coming to be our MC. So we're pretty excited about that, so we're trying to kick it up a level. And then we run a corporate soccer tournament also as a fundraiser for local businesses and companies to sponsor a team, and they can either have their own employees or friends, or sometimes they just say, we want to sponsor a team, and you organization, Project Gold, you can provide kids or other adults that want to play, and they're represented on their T-shirt. And we have Adidas as the sponsor for the last 4 years, so it's really good.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. And how can people participate in this if someone's interested in becoming a tutor or maybe being a volunteer?
Yeah, they just have to contact us through the website. We have the same kind of strict rules as schools do in terms of resumes and background checks. But yeah, anybody can contact us. Like I said, we have college-age kids. We have high school kids doing community service hours with us. So anybody who's willing to help out, whether it's classroom soccer, if they want to help us marketing, or even trying to help us raise funds, we welcome that, because we only have one full-time person working, and that's not me. So the rest of us are basically just trying to do the right thing and do what we can.
That's neat. How many students do you have? I keep saying kids, and I don't want to say kids because I know when you have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they're not kids anymore.
No.
So I don't want to necessarily say kids. How many students do you have going through the program right now?
We are around between 60 and 70 right now.
60 or 16?
60.
60. That's a good chunk.
Yeah.
That's a lot of teenagers to have at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have enough staff, and we have 6 teachers, and then we have 4 coaches during the soccer portion, so they're well supervised during the day, and the kids get a lot of individual attention. So I think that's also a big part why the kids have succeeded in the program.
Yeah. Do you have any, are you there for the soccer part? Do you have any, I'm playing forward, no, I got sweeper?
No, the coaches do really well. So they spend the first part kind of doing some training, and then they divide them up into teams, and it's kind of like winner stays on. And they can play wherever they want, really. They get a little bit of instruction during the session, but we like the kids to learn as they're playing, not so much instruction. We think there's a little bit too much of that in sports. Too much supervising, too much coaching, so the kids need to kind of figure it out on their own.
I like that. What feedback have you had from the schools?
The superintendent of Central Falls, when we first started, she loved us. The new superintendent is really a big fan of ours. We've received a lot of support from Providence as well, and Pawtucket through the mayors and the superintendents there. They love us, and obviously the private schools love us too, because they want more and more of our kids. So we're really very fortunate that we've kind of tapped into this little niche, I think, using sports and academics to help these kids, but it also benefits, I think, the schools too. The schools get some quality kids in terms of the private schools that come from the program who can handle the kind of academic load that's in a private school, but then also, they're able to help out their sports programs as well. So I think, and everybody benefits, and the kids get a quality education. They're all graduating, and that's the main thing.
No kidding. Has anybody reached out to you to expand the program? Are you looking to expand at all?
Yeah, no, we've been asked to expand in other cities in Rhode Island. We've been asked to expand it to other countries, but it's really just an issue of resources and time. So if you know of any multimillionaires that are interested in doing something good, we're here. We're in Rhode Island, so we all work within the community.
Great. Darius, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I absolutely love this. The Revs are coming in on Thursday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we have more soccer coming up this week. So.
Yeah, they should be helping us out with our fundraiser as well. They have a clinic coming up with us with their mascot and some of their battalion marketing crew. So they always come over to Project Goal and do a clinic with the kids. So
I just think that soccer reaches people on so many levels that no matter how old you are, you can really touch people, and it can inspire teens, can inspire kids, and really motivates people. So it's good to see that through soccer you're reaching teens to improve and continuing. I'm glad to see that there's been people coming back and contributing more through the program.
It's something to have a kid feel that they're a part of something.
Yeah, that's really neat. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so thank you for joining us in the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center, Darius, with Project Goal. If you're interested in more information, you can reach out to them. He said if they want to expand, they're looking for a multimillionaire, so if you're interested. That's Project